Is there manopause?
I think that men generally may not be aware of that's what's happening.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm not old enough to be in midlife, am I? And then I was like, oh, do the math, bro.
In order to get the great, you got to get rid of the good.
And then he got off the phone and he was like, it took me 3 days to make that call. And then he started bawling.
Don't you cry.
I know it's making me teary, but this is where we're at, you know?
That old tale about brushing your hair 100 times before you go to bed.
Right.
Is truthful.
Oh.
Joan Rivers told us a story one time.
Joan. Love Joan, right?
I've only been to one Seder dinner in my life.
Yes.
You went to Joan Seder dinner?
And we thought it would be like a big dinner. There was like 8 people. I mean, she was hosting it with a staff of 15 people.
But still.
As one does.
As one does.
It could even be just a pair of shoes. It could be that top that you've had for the last 15 years that doesn't really serve you anymore.
Wait, are you talking about a guy?
That top?
Yeah.
Never a bottom, always a top. Today's guests are not just beauty legends. They're visionaries, disruptors, and the kind of couple that makes you believe in reinvention at any age. Ted Gibson is the celebrity stylist behind some of the most iconic red carpet looks, from Angelina Jolie to Lupita Nyong'o. Jason Backe is a colorist powerhouse with a Hollywood roster all his own. Together, they're industry trailblazers, married in life and in business, and now stepping into the wellness world with a bold new mushroom-based line that's all about mind-body beauty from the inside out. In this episode, we talk about the real secrets behind confidence, aging, hair identity, starting over in midlife, and what it's really like to work, live, and launch with your partner. If you've ever wondered how to age fabulously, feel your best, and still say fuck it to the rules, this is your episode. Follow the Iconic Midlife and share this one with someone who knows that beauty has no expiration dates. So welcome to the Iconic Midlife, Jason and Ted. I'm so excited to have you guys here.
Thank you.
Very much.
We're so excited. Before we started rolling, we were talking about your guys' love story of how you guys met. So give me a little scoop. Like, how did you guys meet each other?
Ted was my teacher in beauty school.
Scandal. Scandal. Oh,
He was
my
hot
God.
for teacher. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, hello.
I was hot for a few teachers, but this one stuck.
There's something about a teacher, right?
Right?
At the head of the class, you're like, So 31 years
31
together,
years
huh?
together,
Oh
yes.
my God.
31 years, 3 cities, businesses in 4 states,
Yeah.
hundreds of employees,
Yeah.
48 different products created so far.
Wow.
Had business together for 26 years, probably 25 years, something like
See,
that.
that's really interesting to me because, like, what is the magic sauce? Because you guys work together, you live together, you've been married for this long. What is the magic sauce?
What's the magic sauce, Jason?
He lets me be me and I let him be him. And we know that the things that, this is what I tell like my niece and nephews when they're dating. I'm like, the things that make you crazy and want to like punch the person in the throat when you're together for the first 6 months never change. They're going to bug you for the rest of your life. So you either can deal with those or you can't. And then that's when you should not be in the relationship.
Yeah, because those things don't change, right?
Yes.
They're morally, that's who that person is. And, you know, after all this length of time, I still try not to make him me because I can't imagine me being in a relationship with myself.
Because he knows that
Like
it's
if
a
there
lot
was
of work.
2 of you, right?
You know?
See? I totally agree with that. And I feel the same way. If there were like 2 of me, like if I had a carbon copy of like myself in male form, that would be too much.
Way too much.
Way too much.
Way too
like
much.
you
Yeah.
have to have the yin and the yang, right?
For sure.
Sure.
And he's a visionary.
Okay.
He's always got really big ideas. And I always say, like, if I never met Ted, I'd probably still be working at the same salon in Minneapolis. Very happy.
Okay.
You know? I never thought I would leave. Like, my big move was from northern Minnesota to Minneapolis. That was like me escaping my small town.
Okay.
You know? Even though I love my small town, I don't want to live there. And then, you know, I never imagined that I would move to New York, let alone have a salon on Fifth Avenue in New York. I never thought that I would move to LA, let alone open a business in LA. And I never imagined that I'd be living in Palm Springs now. And I think a lot of that is like Ted is always thinking about what's next, what's going to keep us moving forward, what's going to, inspire us. And through all of those things, we've really become sort of addicted to change. Like we embrace change. We love change. It keeps everything fresh and new and exciting.
Yeah, it doesn't scare you, right? You're ready to take the next leap, at least from my point of view. When I look at you guys, I'm like, wow, they're like constantly, like reinventing and coming up with new ideas.
Thank you.
So that, of course, so that part of it probably excites you guys, right?
It is exciting.
Yeah. We'd like to turn that rough diamond into, that rough piece of rock, if you will, into something really beautiful. And we love a project. And
a makeover.
And a makeover. And I think that, having us on the Iconic Midlife is really kind of profound at this moment, because I'm a little past what they say midlife is.
I was like, wait a minute, I'm not old enough to be in midlife, am I? And then I was like, oh, do the math, bro.
We never think we're there, right?
No, I'm a little past the midlife situation. But at the same time, I think it's really important for us as entrepreneurs, as moms, as dads, to embrace the fact that things change, and that when you get into your 50s, there's things that happen that you have to embrace, because if you don't embrace it, you'll go crazy.
I was just having a conversation with a client yesterday, which is a really interesting transition in and of itself. I've been a salon owner with Ted for the last 20 plus years. And when we moved to Palm Springs, I decided just to rent a chair instead of opening our own place. So I'm working in somebody else's business where I'm not the boss for the first time in a really long time. And it's a whole different learning curve that's been really fun and exciting. But anyway, I was talking with this client about all these people that are like, oh, getting older sucks, like aging sucks. And I'm just not that person. Like, I'm really enjoying the way that my life has evolved and is changing. And there's so much to look forward to. There's just so many things that are so fantastic to me about getting older, that the things that are less fantastic, like, do I get results after a week at the gym? No. I have to go to the gym every day to try and maintain the results that I've had. Like there's changes like that. Are certain things more sore? Do I have to wear my glasses more? Like, all that stuff. But that's just the part of it. The rest of it is so fun and inspiring and exciting. And the people that I'm meeting are so interesting, And
when someone says, oh, those were the good old days, I'm like, those were good days, but I'm going to have more good days.
The best is yet to come.
The best is yet to come. Because I have so much experience.
Yes, that's the thing. Wait, let me ask you guys this. You guys did the reality show. What was that like? I mean, were you just...
It was so fun.
It was so much fun.
It was so fun.
We had a great time.
Okay.
It didn't get a second season. No. It took forever to come to the U.S.
But it is airing on Tubi.
But you can see it streaming free on Tubi. Blowing LA. But it was super... And let me tell you, there's no better sense of false importance than being followed around by a camera crew. Yeah.
At your beck and call.
Yeah, totally. They're like,
whatever
we need you. We need you.
How do you keep the ego in check when you're like doing something like that?
Well, he had me.
Well,
it didn't help.
My God, I'm dying.
You should have been busier.
You're like, I need my things, okay?
Well, I've been a celebrity hairdresser for a really long time. And I have been in so many of those camps. And I would say that if someone is an a-hole, before they were famous, they're still an a-hole.
And it's exaggerated.
It's exaggerated.
And it's exaggerated.
And if they're a good guy, then that might be exaggerated too.
Sure.
Right.
Yep.
That's an interesting point too, because like you said, you guys have this celebrity kind of Hollywood background. I mean, you've done Lupita Nyong'o, Anne Hathaway, Angelina Jolie. So when you're in the chair with these people, was there ever like a crazy, crazy moment before, let's say, like a big red carpet event, like a wild and crazy thing that ever happened that you could share with us?
Always.
Okay.
There's a lot.
Let's hear it.
Always. Well, I think that if you think about the times, not so much now, because on your phone, you get to, as a celebrity, you are showing pretty much everything because everybody wants to see that, right?
But back
That's
then,
part of your brand. But back then, you didn't have that access, right?
there was no BTS.
No,
Right.
there was the access.
No social media.
No, not at all. So when you think about if Angie or Lupita or Annie or Sandra, any of these women that I've had the opportunity to work with, that you get them ready for a red carpet, you're in the hotel room, you're in their mansion, you're in their apartment or wherever you are, and just think about the pressure of getting ready to leave after you're dressed, getting ready to leave, and as you walk outside the door, there could be, at this moment, hundreds of photographers that are taking your picture before you even get to where you're going for the red carpet. That's a lot of pressure.
That was one of the moments for me, actually. Ted was working with Ashley Greene during the whole Twilight frenzy. And she was going, I think it was her first Met Gala.
Yes.
To her first Met Gala. And I tagged along with Ted because I was coloring Ashley's hair. So we had a friendly relationship. And I was there, the glam squad, that wasn't called that then either, but they were all there, fashion stylist, makeup artist, hairdresser, manager, publicist, whatever, and me, and getting set up and getting ready. And Ashley came in off the street with, I think, like jeans and a leather bike, like motorcycle jacket, and her hair just in a ponytail. And she just looked like a regular pretty girl from Florida. You know, you'd see her on the street and think, well, that's a pretty girl, but you know. And watching this team of experts turn her into a freaking movie star, you know, it was really, and to see her confidence growing, like there's so much more to it than just doing hair and makeup and putting a dress on.
Absolutely.
This group of people are so intimately involved in that moment that they're constantly being like, you look amazing. That's perfect. Yes, you look gorgeous. Yeah. So by the time she steps out, that's her armor. That hair and makeup and what she's wearing is like what's protecting her to be judged by the entire world. You know?
Never to be underestimated.
Never to be underestimated.
Oh no!
I mean, there's one moment, several moments of someone who, I'm not going to mention her name.
Did I see her vagina?
No. You did.
Because I saw
you did.
Does her name
this one.
rhyme with a certain word, an initial?
But her nerves, right? Her nerves would be so bad that after her hair and makeup, we would be sitting there waiting for her as she got dressed, and you would hear the water running in the bathroom. That she would go in, and her nerves would be so crazy that she would wet her face and wet her hair.
And you're like, we just did.
And then we would have to redo it.
Oh, you're kidding.
And like that. But I'll tell you that when you have the opportunity to work with a beauty, with experience, I've been able to make that beauty into beautiful. And that's the goal. So being able to be in those kind of environments is really kind of my specialty.
Yes, and
So
high pressure.
And high pressure.
High
Because I make
stress.
people feel really good. I'm a calm presence anyway. So being in those kind of environments is really good for me.
It's really good, right? I mean, it's funny to think that especially these actresses who are out in front of the camera, you know, so well known, big names, that they get so turned out.
Every single one
That's
of them.
crazy to me.
It doesn't matter who they are. Wow. Every single one of them. And again, you have to think about the pressure of it. You know, I mean, you can relate it to if you were going to a PTA meeting, or you're going to a bar mitzvah, or
your bride.
or you're going to your 25th high school reunion, your 30th high school reunion. That same kind of pressure it's pretty much the same.
Wow. So was there anybody that really surprised you as to being really down to earth? Or even the opposite, like not being so grounded?
Renee Zellweger really surprised me.
Oh.
Yeah, she came to our salon on Fifth Avenue for color and hair with Ted, and she went up to almost everyone in the salon and introduced herself.
Because we had a private room.
We had a private room, but none of the celebrities wanted to be in there.
They didn't want to be in there. Diane Sawyer really was the only one that really wanted to be in that room.
But everyone else preferred to be...
Yes, for sure.
Maybe you had a good clientele, like that were more like the grounded girls and like, right? That were just okay with it.
And the ones that weren't, they don't see me again.
Yep, I can see that.
Because there've been a few of those.
Okay.
Yeah, there's been a few of those.
How do you deal when you got somebody like that?
Well, it's
a lot of times it's kind of mutual.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Like
sure.
If you just don't click,
right?
You know.
But sometimes it can be where you clicked and then you didn't click the next time.
Yeah.
For whatever reason, there's always something that's going on.
And then there's always a publicist.
Yes.
And if you don't click with the publicist, then you might not never see the celebrity again.
Yep.
Yes. AKA the gatekeeper.
I was going to say the gatekeeper.
Yep.
But that's changed so much in these days and times also.
Right. You've got more access to these people now, right?
Sure.
It's just a DM. Yeah.
Yep.
It is. It is. There's something so nice about that. So do you like that about social media for like, especially for your businesses? There is that accessibility like we didn't have before.
I love social media.
I go through phases of loving it. I loved it really hard for a long time.
Yeah.
And now I'm feeling pressured to be more involved because we're launching this new brand.
Right.
And so I'm trying.
Yeah.
We launched it.
We did launch it.
It's launched. It's out there.
It's launched. And it's interesting because kind of like what we were talking about before about how things change as we get older.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of these things that we've done, we just had an experience this week that was really profound for Ted. We've done 40 seasons of New York Fashion Week. And it's always been so fun to build a team and to do 5 or 6 shows and to see how inspired these people are that got to come with us and to share that moment because it's not easy to get that moment. And last season, we decided it was our last season because we're shifting directions. Our brand is different now. We're different now. We have different goals. It was easy to do New York Fashion Week when we lived there, but living on the West Coast, it's way more work, way more expensive. We got to put the dogs in daycare for a week. We got to get a hotel, all of it, And so we decided we're done. Well, there's a designer who we love who reached out to Ted and said, we're doing a show in September and we'd love for you to lead the team in hair. And do you want to finish telling it?
No, go ahead.
Oh, okay. And we decided no, that we weren't going to do it. But yesterday was the day that Ted called Altoran. He's the stylist for the designer, who, if you need some inspiration and some humor to follow on Instagram, Altoran's amazing. Mm-hmm. But anyway, Ted called him and said, we're not going to do it. There was a more conversation around it, but whatever. And then he got off the phone and he was like, it took me 3 days to make that call. And then he started bawling because it's one of those things where it's like there's so many things that defined who we were during a certain part of our life or a certain part of our career. And having that moment where you're ready to let that go.
Don't you cry.
I know it's making me teary, but this is where we're at, Like being able to let that go and move on to whatever's next, even if you don't know what it is really profound. It's so easy to
and it could even be just a pair of shoes.
Right.
You know what I mean? It could be that top that you've had for the last 15 years that doesn't really serve you anymore. It could be...
Wait, are you talking about a guy?
The top?
Yeah.
Never a bottom, always a top.
Oh my God.
It was getting a little serious there.
It's always good to laugh a bit.
No, I'm not talking about the top. But just to think about how that works.
Right.
Like,
even changing your hair.
And that was exactly what I was going to say.
Right?
Even changing your hair.
Can be so monumental, right?
Life-changing. Life-changing.
And there is something about sitting in that chair, like when you're like a person going to get your hair, your hair person is like your therapist.
Sure.
You are spending an hour or more with them talking about, things that you don't talk about even with friends sometimes.
That relationship is like no other relationship in a woman's life. It really is because, when we do a lot of educational seminars where we talk to hairdressers and help business and technique and everything. And one of the things that I always say is that sometimes what happens with the client that sits in your chair that you haven't seen for 6 weeks or 8 weeks, right? And the last time that she was in, maybe she divulged some information to you. And there's a possibility that she hasn't been touched since the last time that she was in the salon because her husband hasn't touched her. Her kids haven't given her a hug. She's not getting a hug from at work. No one's listened to her. Her husband's too busy. The kids are on their phone. There's so many things. So when she has that time, 1.5 to 3 hours in the salon when she's with that hairdresser, she is a changed woman. She's able to divulge and share and really be who she is sitting in that chair. And it's a moment that I think is really important.
You know, I've never thought about that, about not being touched.
Not being touched. Because we don't think about it that we, hairdressers, that's what we do. That's what we do. And there's so much power in that.
Right. And it's, you know, it's so relaxing. It's like all the emotions come out.
It's very
like if your
intimate.
hair is part of your armor,
Right.
and you're surrendering that to somebody else and sitting there in your less than pretty state in front of other people.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
I think that's why the whole story of Steel Magnolias, the stage production, takes place in the salon.
Right.
Right.
And that's where relationships, there's so many people that if you're on the same appointment schedule every 6 weeks on Wednesday at 10,
Right.
you know, like you get to see the same people all of the time. And that becomes its own little community that doesn't happen anywhere else.
That's such a good point. My grandmother, I'm also, you know, from Texas, like you.
Yes.
And my grandmother, that's what she'd do every Friday morning at 10 o'clock. You know, they'd all meet at what they call the beauty parlor, and get their hair set. And it became like a social thing for them.
Sure.
Yep.
Right?
For
I mean,
sure.
it's a community. It's a community.
And men have that too at the barbershop.
That's
so it's the same. It's
true.
the same kind of idea of really being able to take care of yourself, about self-care, and being able to be in those moments and relax and feel good about yourself and change.
And it's such a safe environment most of the time that there's actually organizations that go to barbershops to talk about high blood pressure, to talk about men's health issues, to go to salons that are predominantly women and have a safe way to talk about domestic violence or all of these things that really help to let people become more educated in different ways in their life that they don't think about or that they don't feel safe to talk about in other places.
And they're away from all their stimulus, like the everyday, you know, mundane stuff that they're going through. And so they're in a, like you're saying, a safe place where they can listen. That's such a great idea.
Yeah.
Okay.
and it works.
Right? It works,
Yeah,
right?
it works.
So for the women out there that are listening, because you guys have all this great experience with a lot of the women that they see on TV and in movies, what are 3 things that women at home can do to kind of achieve elevated look, you know, or kind of like that Hollywood kind of feel? What are 3 things that they can do at home?
Well, for one thing is that you need to make sure that you have the right tools. The tools are going to really have a set of hot rollers.
Right? Hot rollers go a long way, don't they?
They go a long way, absolutely. And you know, when I think we're all kind of in the same way influenced because we do have social. So we're seeing what stars are wearing, their hair, their makeup. So we're influenced by that. And it doesn't necessarily only have to be a celebrity that makes $12 million a movie. It could be someone that's in your hometown that has a little bit of influence, that has showed you maybe something, this lip color that they love, and you see it and maybe you go try it out. So I think hot rollers is number 1. What would be number 2?
I would say I see a lot of women who probably are wearing the same makeup and hair that they wore in high school and college. So find a new hairdresser and get their professional opinion, someone who doesn't know anything about you, and see what they say. Go to the department store cosmetics section and have someone make recommendations about, you know, the way that you wear your eyeliner, you know, or your lip color or whatever. Because as we change, we need to address things differently. And if we're doing things the same way, then we're not going to get the same results as we did then because we're different,
Sure.
you know? And I think a lot of times less is maybe more, you
good
know,
point.
instead of like, you know, putting the black eyeliner all the way around your eye with the heavy mascara that looked awesome when you were 23. Now you look sort of like, I don't know, maybe the lady at the grocery store that needs to, I'm thinking of this woman in my hometown.
You're visualizing.
Totally.
Yeah.
And she dyed her hair jet black and had a full beat and I was a child. So she was maybe 60 and I thought she was 100, you know?
Right.
But she would shoplift and her husband would follow her around and pay.
Oh, my
You're
goodness.
kidding.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
But she definitely had a look
Okay.
that dated her.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that that's with our fashion and with our the way that we take care of our skin, our hair, our makeup, whatever, is to really think about what's fresh.
Right. That's a good point. Like, how do we update, especially at this time in our lives? Like, what do you think is the best way? Should we be getting inspiration from certain places, or what's the best way to update?
I love seeing men who are my age or older that are looking like amazing
Mm-hmm.
and trying to emulate what they do. Like when I go to the gym, I'm not looking at the 35-year-old guys. In my head, 35, 38 is like where men peak.
Uh-huh.
That's when
Okay.
they're at their most manly before everything starts to drop.
Including balls, right?
Low hangers.
That's another
I love it.
another gift along with my prostate.
Totally. Oh my God, too good.
But I have to remind myself that I'm not trying to be them.
Yeah.
I want to be 75 and be able to put my own carry-on bag up.
Yeah.
I want to be 85 and not have mobility issues. So the reason that I'm going to the gym, I mean, of course, I still want to look hot, as I can look.
Right.
And
That
feel
never goes
sexy.
away, I feel like,
I don't
right?
think that ever
For
goes
sure.
away.
Mhm.
And if it does, I feel bad for those people.
Right.
You
They've
know?
lost their oomph, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
like
yeah.
their thing that makes them want that.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
But we just came back from Greece. We were in Greece, and on the plane, you see all of these guys that just came from Turkey that just had all of their hair transplants. I'm like, do it.
Right.
Do it.
Why- do it.
Right.
If you want your eyes done, do it. If you want a facelift or a neck lift, do it.
If you want to go on the fat shot,
absolutely.
do
if you
it.
want to
Right?
if you want to go on the shot, do it. Absolutely.
Do what makes you happy and
Do
feel
what
good
makes you
about
happy and
yourself.
feel good about yourself.
Right? As long as
You
you're
know?
doing it truly for yourself.
For yourself,
Right.
Yep.
which is really a distinction, right?
Right.
It's between the distinction, or you want to make sure that people, I mean, of course, we want to make people think we're attractive, absolutely. But knowing within yourself the reason why you're doing it is to really for self-care and making sure that you feel good about yourself.
Yeah, how do you guys do self-care? That's a good point. Like, do you guys take the time? I mean, you obviously
Yes.
travel and everything, but like, what else does self-care look like for you guys?
What does self-care look like for you, Jason?
well, we get up really early.
Okay.
We get up like around 5:30, between 5:30 and 6. And especially now in the desert when it's 115. Like
A little toasty out there.
It's a
it's warm.
little toasty.
But I'll tell you, I'll take 115 in the desert over 95 and humid in New York City.
Oof.
Or 45 below. in
45
Minnesota.
below in
Oh, yeah.
Minnesota.
No, thank
Yeah.
you. Oh.
But it's really gorgeous in the morning. It's like 80, you know, and we can walk the dogs. And I usually sit outside by the pool, and Ted usually sits inside, and we do our morning rituals.
Mhm.
You know, we make sure to take time. I need to have at least 2 hours before I'm meeting people.
Mhm.
You know, I need that. I've recognized that in myself, that I really honor that time to myself in the morning, to have my coffee, to listen to my inspirational podcast or whatever it is I'm listening to,
Mhm.
to have a little time to just be still. And then I can get ready for my day, you know? So that's one of the things that's really important. Going to the gym is really important. I love being able to, I just started a year ago, I just started a raised garden beds. I have 2 raised garden beds, and that's been surprisingly satisfying.
Wow.
You know, when it's time to pick my carrots or my beets or whatever. And those are all things that incorporated into my life very easy. I didn't have to make big changes. The biggest change was going to bed at 10 o'clock instead of midnight.
That's
know?
hard.
That's
Yeah.
a big
Right?
one. That's really a big one. You know, because my self-care, when I think about self-care for me, is something that I've done for a really long time. And that is my morning practice is vital for my relationship, for my career, for my public image. All of that is really important for me, that morning practice. And my morning practice consists of meditation, reading, and writing, and listening to some kind of spirituality, which really helps me get centered to who I am and who I want to be every single day. And I know that when I miss that, I'm a little different, because I need to hear something that will not only move my spirit, but also kind of give me a jolt of inspiration and love. And since we actually adopted mushrooms into, I'll speak for me, since I've adopted mushrooms into my morning practice, it has completely changed everything for me.
Do you feel clearer?
I feel
more
clearer.
Okay.
I feel more present. I feel like that I am hearing, my being is more open, which I think is really important. I think that we as a human race at the moment, or especially since COVID, we're looking for things that can be stress relieving. We're looking for community. We're looking for inspiration. We're looking for things that will help us to feel good, because if you're scrolling on your phone, like I scroll on my phone, there are some challenging information that is coming through my phone. So I think it's important, if I can have something that's going to make me feel good, that's what it's really about for me. And that is every single day, and feeling good every single day.
It's important. It's how you start the day,
That's
right?
how you start today.
That was a big self-care thing too, is like when it's time for bed, I leave my phone in the living room.
That's what I hear. That's like a big tip that people are doing. Like, leave it in a different room so you're not tempted, right?
Yep.
To scroll.
Because otherwise I wake up in the morning and that's the first thing I look at.
I know.
Yeah, it's true.
So bad,
And
right?
there was a time that, my mom, who, like we said, recently passed, but there was a time that I would have to have my phone, and that would be the first thing that I would do, because that I needed to make sure that she was okay. If her facility called or something, that I needed to make sure that I had my phone there. But it isn't as important as it was. Like I said, Jason, I'm like, I left my phone in the living room. And it feels really good to be able to do that.
Yeah.
You
You
know?
were taking care of your mom for a long time,
Yeah.
right? So like, that's also an interesting part of this time of our lives.
Sure.
It's the
Oh my
sandwich
gosh.
generation, right?
Absolutely.
Like, we're taking care of our aging parents.
Absolutely.
And it's almost like
It's-
being in your 20s again,
Right.
because it's a whole new learning curve.
Whole new
There's
learning
nothing to
curve.
prepare. There was nothing to prepare me for my dad getting sick and dying.
No.
There was
Sorry.
nothing. It's like a whole new, and then how that changed my relationship with my mom, and how just so many different things that we don't have any practical experience for. And then all of a sudden we're in our 50s and it's like,
Oh,
wow,
wow.
how the fuck am I going to do
Wow.
that?
When did that happen?
Life is lifing right
When
now,
that
right?
happened,
Yes.
Yeah. There isn't anything, and it happens so quickly that you can't prepare for it. I think it's really important to have a sense of community and people that support you, and that you can have conversations with and reach out to maybe people that have experienced already that can give you some pointers and that's what I did. So it was extremely helpful that I had a community of people that I knew that I could rely on to help me through this process of taking care of my mom for the last decade.
Oh my gosh. Wow.
And
you're saying, it's so important to build community. So
yes.
if somebody out there is listening and they feel like they don't have community, how do they start to even build community? Like, if they feel alone and isolated and they can't rely on anyone.
I would say if you don't have a job, get a part-time job. You'll always meet people there. If you have time, volunteer. You'll meet like-minded people there. Some people find it at church. Some people find it at yoga. Some people find it at
Your local coffee shop.
just hanging out at the coffee shop.
Or the hair salon, right?
Or the hair
salon.
salon. Or the
Right?
hair
You
salon.
There's a lot of different ways. And I think that the biggest thing is just don't be afraid to do it.
Yeah.
That's
And speak up. And speak up. And
Yeah.
and not be afraid to just say how you're feeling. And not be afraid to just say, I'm lonely, or I need some help, or anything like that. Because we all do.
Join a
Doesn't
club.
matter. Yeah.
There's a million different clubs that, each community advertises on Facebook or different chat groups or Reddit or like whatever, that you can, if you like to hike, find a hiking group. then you'll find other people that like to hike. You know, if in Palm Springs there's a poodle club. Anyone that has a poodle can join the club.
Oh, that's such a good club.
Yeah.
That's such a good club.
So there's a lot of different ways I think that we just have to not be afraid to try.
Yeah, I think it's the fear that holds people back a lot of the time. And I feel like we all have some type of fear in us.
100%.
So how do you guys deal with the fear? Because there's times, you know, for example, there's times I wake up in the morning, I'm like, it's a low day, right? So I'm like, I'm feeling insecure. I'm looking at my phone. I'm comparing myself on social media, you know? So how do you guys get through those days?
Well, I would say one thing is my morning practice.
The morning practice, for sure.
It really does.
It's the one thing that you can do, that I can do, that sets the tone for the day.
Yeah.
And then whatever happens after that, at least I've had that moment where I'm completely in control of everything and I'm not worried about anything. I know that in that moment, everything is taken care of. I might have bill collectors calling me all day, but in that moment when I don't have my phone and I'm silent, I know that I have a roof over my head, that I'm fed, that I'm confident in my relationship and I love my dogs, that I have a great relationship with my mom and my sister. Like, I know that all of those things are real. And I think that's a really great way to, like, if you're feeling crappy, start your day that way.
Yeah.
Just think about all of the things that are real.
It's like the gratitude, right? Just really being, no matter what is going on in the rest of your life, it's like taking those moments of gratitude.
Yep.
It's hard to do sometimes.
It is hard to do.
You have to make a conscious choice to do
You
it.
have to make a conscious
And if you're making
choice.
it a practice,
Right.
you know, that
Every
you do
single day.
every day.
And I try to live by, you know, everything is for my good. Even when it may appear it to not look like maybe to other people that it may not be good, but I try to live it as everything is for my good. I mean, we've owned 4 salons in 4 different states. We don't have a salon now. So what that meant was that we had to close all these salons. And some people are like, oh, I'm so sorry your salon closed. I'm like, I'm not sorry.
Yeah. It was for the good,
It was
right?
for the good that it's closed, that I've moved on to something else. Because in order to get the great, you got to get rid of the good.
That's a good point.
Let go of the good to make room for the better.
Absolutely.
Yes. If
you
it
have to.
isn't really serving you as well as it did before, right?
And it's recognizing it, right? It's recognizing, just like Jason told that story about us doing Fashion Week for 40 seasons. And what that means is that's how many years was
like
that?
20 years.
Like 20,
I know, right?
20,
It's a long time.
20
Fashion
years
seasons
of
are like
fashion.
dog years,
You know,
right? You're like,
Yes.
how many?
How many?
65?
You know
Like,
how
what?
it is. So you know how crazy it is
Yes.
backstage and
Yes.
how nuts it is with models and the designer and I mean so many people and the team and everything. And you know, that was such a huge part of my career. And I just recognized that it wasn't serving me anymore. I had recognized it a while ago, but I hadn't really decided until this last season that, you know, this is my last season of doing fashion because it doesn't serve me anymore. And it's not the same. You know, I don't get the same kind of tingle that I did from the bottom of my feet all the way to the top of my head, and how incredible and influential, you know, the movie Devil Wears Prada, when she talks about the cerulean blue and how those things is not quite this. It's not the same any longer.
They lose their luster,
They lose
right?
their luster.
And once you've been on the inside and you see the inner workings, you know, it
Yes.
doesn't have that same
No.
Yeah.
appeal like it did, you know, to somebody maybe that's going for the first time.
Yes.
and-
For sure. And that's
You
what I said
know?
to Ted when we were having that conversation yesterday. I was like, there's a million kids that are dying for that opportunity that you just let them have.
Yeah.
Yep. You're actually kind of paying it forward in a way
Yeah.
for
That's
them.
true.
But does it feel at the same time, does it feel like a loss at all, or like a loss of identity, or is it hard to let go of in any way? Like, are those feelings there too?
Yes.
For sure.
Always.
I have to be honest.
Yes.
But you know, I would say that that's the important piece of it, because I don't want to be the same person I was yesterday. I don't want to be the same person that I was 5 years ago, because if I am, then I haven't progressed as an artist. I haven't progressed as a human being. I haven't progressed as an entrepreneur. If I stay in the same place, then there's no growth. And where we have the money, the freedom, the love, the excitement is from the growth and the change, even though that can be the hardest thing in the world to do.
Yeah, it really can be.
It can really be
But
really
clearly,
hard.
yeah, but you guys have this thing though, like I was saying at the beginning, like where you can step into change. It seems pretty easy, you know, like the reinvention. I mean, not easy because I know there's always work behind it, but it's like you're not, it's almost like you don't seem afraid to take those steps, you know?
Well,
The
you know, I
reinvention.
think there are times where you're forced to make the step.
Right.
Sure.
Right.
Right.
But it's important not to be in the place where you're forced to make the step. That the idea of I'm an opportunist. I always say that I'm an opportunist. So if I see an opportunity, I'm going to take the opportunity. I was trained very well by my mentors who told me that the opportunity doesn't always present itself, but when it does, you take it.
And don't feel bad about it.
And don't
right?
feel bad about it. Because if you can live by everything is for your good, then you know that it was for your good to get you to the next place.
Right. Right.
To get me to the next place.
Joan Rivers told us a story one time.
Joan. Love Joan, right?
I've only been to one Seder dinner in my life.
Yeah.
and it
You
was
went to
in-
Joan's Seder dinner?
in her Fifth Avenue
We're really good
apartment.
friends with Melissa.
And we thought it would be like a big dinner. There was like 8 people.
it was
It was
insane.
amazing.
Wait, okay, tell me
At the
from
mansion
start
on
to
Fifth-
finish,
At the mansion.
everything.
At the mansion, I think Melissa just sold, right? Just
Yeah, I think she
recently.
sold it.
Yeah.
In New York.
In New York.
Okay, tell me, you guys get there. Is she
just
like
thought-
already joning right at the beginning?
You know, it was really interesting because we were in her safe place. And so she was being grandma
Yes.
and she was hosting dinner. I mean, she was hosting it with a staff of 15 people.
But still.
But still,
one
yeah,
does.
as one does.
So
And she had a friend there who was a writer for the Carol Burnett show. And so they just kept doing bits back
my
and forth
God.
all through the whole
I was
dinner.
like, is this serious? Are they serious?
When we were leaving, we were at the elevator, which was in her apartment.
Right.
And the friend came over and he was like going to give her a hug and thanking her. And when he opened his arms, all of these tchotchkes fell out of his coat.
Like he had taken
Silverware. Like,
No!
yeah.
Oh my God, he was like a klepto in
totally
disguise.
But it was a joke.
It was
you know
a
what I
joke.
mean?
But it was
it was
so
a joke.
funny. It was so funny. And I forgot what she said. She said something because she was at the door with us. So she
Yeah,
said something.
she said something, and then we got in the elevator, and it was closing, and he goes, "Well, she's not much of a personality."
Oh my God. How
It was
genius.
amazing.
It was amazing.
But she told this story
Yes.
of being blacklisted in Hollywood
Mm-hmm.
after she went to Fox and left Johnny Carson.
I can't. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I cannot wait to see Natasha Lyonne play
Joan Rivers.
Joan
I
Rivers.
know.
Sorry,
It's
I
gonna be
just thought
amazing.
about
It's gonna be
that.
amazing.
It's gonna
Yes.
be amazing.
And she talked about how she needed a job. She couldn't work anywhere in the industry. And she said she was opening every door that everyone was walking past. And she said yes when QVC asked her to sell nail polish. And that changed everything. That made her a fashion and beauty expert. And that's when she created Live from the Red Carpet. There was no Live from the Red Carpet before Joan Rivers and Melissa, you know what I mean? Like they introduced BTS,
Right.
Yes, for sure.
you know?
Right. And the whole red carpet glam,
For
talking
sure.
about
Who's
it.
doing- who are you wearing?
Right.
Who are you wearing? Who are
Right.
you wearing?
Who did your hair? Who did your makeup?
Exactly.
Like all the things.
All the
wow.
things.
Yeah.
She was such a game
She was
changer,
such a
right?
Game changer on so many levels.
For so many times.
And funny.
And
Oh my God,
hysterical.
so funny. Like she seems to me like she would be one of those people where it just comes natural. Like she can't help but open her mouth.
Yep.
And something fucking hilarious comes
Totally.
out. Much like Robin Williams, who had
Yes.
I had the opportunity of interviewing
Oh,
one time.
Fun.
Just handed the mic to him and he just went. And I'm like, I don't need to say anything. You know? It's like one of those things where it just is, you know, that's such a gift to have
I
that
think it's a
comedic
gift.
timing.
For sure.
Wow. Were you guys doing her hair? Is that how you guys knew her? Or
No, Melissa.
No.
We became
We met
really
Melissa.
Good, yeah,
Ah,
became
wow.
good friends with Melissa, and she said, "I'm having Seder at my mom's. You guys want to come?" We're like, "What?"
So I'm calling all my Jewish friends. I'm like, what do I bring? What do I bring? What do I bring? They're like, you have to go to Brooklyn to this one deli and get this one. I'm like, okay.
You have to get all the things.
All the
right?
things.
You can't show up empty handed, right?
Totally. I don't want to be that Gentile.
Yeah.
And that
They're up the list.
and that apartment was incredible.
Oh, I bet it was like to the T, just amazing,
beautiful.
right?
She had incredible taste.
Yeah.
So of course.
Okay, do you guys have any other favorite celebrity clients? Ones that you really kind of got on with like that?
I mean, yes. I mean,
Right.
there's so many.
There's a lot.
I've in my career, I would say that I'm so lucky because I have been able to be with so many different ones. Like I'm not just known for maybe just one kind of thing. I went from Angie to Lupita to Annie to Natasha to Sandra Oh to Melissa McCarthy. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And for me, it was always really about the hair. It wasn't about the color of the skin. And I knew that if I could do beautiful hair, because I say I'm a classic with a twist, that I love old movies. I like in the hallway, there's this poster of Gilda. Jason, as we're walking up the stairs, Jason like, oh, there's your favorite movie. I love Rita Hayworth. I love old movies. I got so much inspiration from them. But to be honest, I didn't even know that I was going to be a hairdresser.
Really?
No.
What did you think you were going to be?
I was going to be a veterinarian. I was going to play football for the Dallas Cowboys. I was going to do,
You played football?
I was high school football.
No
athlete, yes.
way. Wait, now, were you like out at
In
that
Texas.
time? No, because that's a big.
I was out at that time.
Oh, so you were fully out and
I
playing football
was.
in Texas.
I was.
And I know this, growing up in Texas,
Yes.
it's a big deal.
It's a big deal.
Wow. And so were people accepting right away?
You
Or
know, I think that they didn't really have a choice.
Okay. You're like, I'm doing this.
Yeah, I don't think they really had a choice. I think that I've always been kind of who I am.
Right.
You know, my mom and dad, I'm an only kid. And I think that my mom and dad wanted me, of course, you know, they wanted me to be somebody else, but I wasn't anyone else, that I was who I was. And I wasn't at any time in any age feeling bad about that.
Wow.
Ever.
We're both lucky in that way.
Yeah,
Like,
Okay.
ever.
I came out to my parents, I think I was in 11th grade.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So early on.
1985.
Early on.
And they were all accepting, all the parents. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
were
there was challenges and
Sure.
hurdles,
Okay.
you know.
Sure.
I think my mom's biggest fear was that I wanted to be a girl.
No.
Like she didn't really
She was-
understand.
They don't understand,
the
Yeah.
whole,
yeah.
like,
They're so old school, right?
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
They don't think
Yeah.
they think that if you're gay that you want to be in women's clothes and you want to dress. That's not the truth.
No.
I mean, the spectrum.
I mean,
of-
hopefully that's not what parents think today, but
Well, I don't know.
yeah, it's true.
You know, I don't know. I think that it's not that way. That every kid that's gay that wants to be in women's clothes and wants to be a drag queen, or even trans, like it's a whole different thing. And you know, I was never one of those kids that really accepted what anyone had to say.
That's great that you came from such support. Like, you guys
Yes.
both had really strong
Yeah.
families.
Yes.
Probably made a lot of the difference
It did.
for what
sure.
you achieved later on in life,
For
I would
sure.
assume, right?
And it's funny because my sister is so the opposite. Like, she's had a fantastic career as a dietitian, and she's the one that's worked with the same organization and worked her way up and had the family and the 401k and the whatever. And I'm like, I'm gonna work till I'm 100 because we get rich and then we get broke,
Right.
and then we get rich and then we get broke.
And we won't do that anymore. It's just going to getting
We're
rich
gonna just
now.
get rich.
We're
and
staying
we're gonna
on the
stay
rich.
rich.
Getting rich.
Well,
We're
that's the
staying with
life
the
of an
rich.
entrepreneur,
the
right?
life of
I
an
feel the
entrepreneur.
same. It's ups and downs.
It's ups and downs.
But it's your
look, you reinvented. Like how incredible it is.
Yeah.
You know what I
Thank
mean?
you.
Congratulations to you too.
Yeah.
It's
Thank
like
you.
such a
Thank
journey.
Yes.
such a journey. And it's like when you have that entrepreneurial spirit, you cannot put it out. Like,
Yep.
we wouldn't feel the same not doing what we're doing,
Absolutely.
right?
And you wouldn't be able to inspire the people that you talk to, the people that are part of your
Yes.
community that really want to listen to something that you have to say, and your guests that you bring on. Like, it's tremendous to hear how important it is to think about yourself in your 50s and 60s,
Right.
your 40s and 50s and 60s. Like, people didn't have access to them. My mom didn't have access to that.
No, and think
And
about
what
all
that
those
meant.
right, and they suffered in
They
silence, right?
suffered in silence.
And
Nope.
also, like, we're more fit.
Yes.
We're more worldly.
Yes.
We're like, if I think about my grandma when she was 50, she was an old lady.
Right.
Yeah.
With like the short hair.
Oh,
and
totally.
Yeah. Like, I love the mashups of showing the olden girls and
Yeah.
then taking like J-Lo and, you know,
Totally. I know.
saying this is them now.
I know. It's like, it's so funny. I had this group chat with my girlfriends and we put up those pictures of like the Golden Girls and we're like,
yeah.
guys, we are that age now.
That's right.
Yeah.
Age
Like,
now.
how crazy it has
Yeah.
changed,
How
you know?
it's
changed.
So much.
It's really thought-provoking how we've come as a society and as a community. And I love the idea. I mean, we have AI,
Right.
right? And it's a discussion that I think people are like, I hate AI and I don't want it to, especially in our business, which is creative, and people are a little nervous about it. But I think it's such a unique opportunity to change the dynamic and the way that we visualize things, because it's not going to go away. It was the same thing from when I became first in the fashion business. It was about models that were on covers of magazines, and that it started to turn into celebrity. And I know that all of the fashion people were like, no way, it's not going to last. There's not going to be celebrities on the covers of magazines. And it still was for a really long time that we still had celebrities on covers. And it's the same kind of idea. When retouching happened, people were like, oh, no retouching. It's the same kind of idea. Our eye changes. Remember when it went from high def on TV?
And everyone was freaking about it. Like, oh my God, you can see my pores.
That changes everything, right?
Everything.
And I think that's one of the things about getting older too, is like, we have to be conscious when we say, oh, it's changed. I would rather say I've changed. Because my niece and nephews that are in their late teens and up to mid 20s, everything is new to them and exciting and different. And I want to acknowledge that I've had a whole bunch of experience that makes me different than I was when I first did something.
Sure.
But there's still a lot of really exciting things. And as soon as we start saying, oh, it's changed, or I'm not thinking of another example off the top of my head, but knowing that we've changed and that's the reason that I don't want to do the same thing. Like, could we still go to Fashion Week and have a great time? Yes. Would we leave inspired? Yes. But is it serving the purpose that we're doing now? No, because we've changed.
You know what would be fun is to actually go to Fashion Week as just a spectator, because we've all only ever worked at Fashion Week,
and
right?
sit in the front row and the whole bit, right?
Enjoy and not have to like write anything or take pictures. Just be there for the looks and for the clothes and for the hair and the makeup and
that
like,
experience,
right? And just have a completely just creative experience where you're just taking it all in. We've never had that. We've always
in the trenches,
working, always in the trenches.
Because it is kind of like war.
It is kind of like war.
And that's the thing. People, from the outside, they look at it, they're like, it's so glamorous. And it's like,
you have no
if
idea.
Only you knew,
If
right?
only you knew.
Totally.
The inner workings of all of it.
And how long it takes in order to get that show that's 3 minutes.
Yes.
5 minutes.
Yep.
And the amount of money that goes in along to.
Oh my God. Totally.
Really,
Okay. So advice. What would you advise your 25-year-old selves? What would you tell that person?
Start investing in your retirement. My brother-in-law is a great example. 30% of every paycheck he's ever got since he was 18 years old, he's saved.
How old is he now?
58, I think.
Oh, so he probably has some great savings, great investments.
He doesn't know this, but he is my retirement plan.
You're like, hey, bro, where are we moving to?
Just put a trailer on your lot.
A trailer.
And just plug into your.
Oh my God.
I would say that. I would say, I'm a kid that was like the last one picked for the team, and the guys would be like, we want a boy on our team, not a girl like Jason, like that kind of stuff. So I had I didn't recognize it actually until recently that it was traumatic, and I didn't want to go to the gym and I didn't want to be fit. So I would tell 25-year-old me, like, just go, start your fitness earlier. And also stop caring so much what other people think.
That's a big one. That's how I feel too about that. What would you tell your 25-year-old self?
I would tell my 25-year-old self that you were so damn hot.
Totally.
And how could you not think that you weren't?
Isn't that crazy? We look back and we're like,
oh my God.
Why didn't I just...
so fit and I had dreadlocks and I used to bodybuild and I would have a gallon of water in my hand and wear clogs and I was so cool and did not think that I was that hot. I had the opportunity. I was working for a company called Veda, and I lived in Minneapolis, and we were in New York shooting a campaign, and it was Paulina Portsakova, her mom, and all these other kind of influential celebrity up and coming celebrities at the moment. And Horst Rechelbacher, who was the creator of Aveda, this famous photographer, world-renowned photographer named Arthur Elgort. He said, and Horst was from was it Vienna? Austria, from Vienna. And he had this accent, and he said, Ted, Arthur wants to shoot you. You should take your clothes off. And he wants to shoot you. And I'm like, no, I'm too shy. And I would tell you that I should have done it. Because looking now and having a picture of me nude with my body that was like insane.
And it was photographed by Arthur Elgort.
All right. And in such a tasteful way, right?
Yes,
like,
for sure.
Have you seen that Schitt's Creek episode?
No.
Where Moira is like, take as many nude pictures of yourself as you can. Because one day you'll look back with much softer eyes.
She's so fucking good on that show.
So good.
So good.
She's so good. So yes, I would have told myself that you're really hot and not to worry. You know, and similar to what Jason said about how to not really care what other people say.
That's a hard one, though. Even still.
Yeah, it is, especially in the business that we're all in, you know? It's so forward public facing. It's like, how do you not? But that does come with age too, though, right? And life experience.
Sure, and life experience. And my morning practice, I'll tell you what, you know, it does make a difference for me and how I feel and my skin, my hair, and because we launched this mushroom product that I think is really, really, really good and effective.
We often talk as women, we talk about perimenopause and menopause and how our bodies change. Is there manopause?
Oh, for sure. I just found out that my prostate's the size of a grapefruit. So I'm looking forward to being able to pee again.
Not a grapefruit.
Ted, can you confirm or deny this information?
Listen, for those inquiring minds who want to know, yes, the size of a grapefruit.
Oh my gosh, well that is good to know because oftentimes I will walk into a room and I don't know if you guys experience this, but I'm like, why did I walk into this room? What am I getting? Or I'm grabbing for words. I'm forgetting, like, you know, what is the next word that I'm trying to say?
For sure.
So does that happen to men too?
Yes.
I think it does.
Okay.
But, you know, I think there are things that we can do in order to kind of, I can't say, because I'm not a doctor, so I can't say that a supplement in particular that can help with memory, that can help with brain fog, that can help with clarity is really important.
That was a great segue, and you didn't even do that on purpose. We'd like to introduce our product, Ascension, the daily supplement by Ted Gibson Beauty Wellness Science.
But it's true, though. You know, it's true. And, you know, just to give you a little bit of history about that, you know, yes, I think that men go through all sorts of kind of things. I think that men generally may not be aware of that's what's happening.
Men don't talk about
because
that.
they don't
Or
talk
denial.
about our denial.
Right.
Our denial. So I think that we do go through those things, absolutely. But I think that there are ways in order to take things that we ingest in our body that can help with the brain fog and the clarity and the skin and the hair and the health that I think is really vital in these times that we live in now, because we're not getting the nutrients that we really need from our food like we used to. Everything is so manufactured in a way, and I'm not condoning that you need to eat organic or no GMO or 100% vegan, because I'm not those things. But what I do is I do take something that can help me with offset those kinds of things, which I think is important.
Yeah, that is important. And, you know, you guys really developed an amazing line, you know, coming out of COVID pretty much, right? Like, and it's a mushroom-based line. Yes. And, you know, mushrooms are like kind of the hot ingredient right now, right?
We're learning so much.
Right? Like the adaptogens and like all the health benefits.
Yes.
So what kind of prompted you guys from, you know, doing what you were doing to really starting this line?
Well, a lot of it was, you know, when we left LA and moved out to the desert 2 years ago, almost exactly 2 years ago, we found ourselves in a very similar place where we, you know, we do this over and over, and we're trying not to do that this time, but we build something and it becomes very successful. And then we don't really know what to do. and it sort of falls apart. And then, so we did that in New York, and then we were like, okay, we've done New York, let's go to LA. And when we moved to LA, we did it again in LA. And when we decided to end everything in LA, we got to Palm Springs, and we took a breather to think about, okay, who are we now? Who do we want to be when we grow up? And that's when we started thinking about, it's important for us to do another product. We've been really focusing on external beauty, and I don't want to take anything away from that, because I know when I look good on the outside, it makes me feel better on the inside. But I also know through several years now of having a morning ritual that, we meditate, we read, we write, to taking supplements that are beneficial that we see a difference, that I feel a difference in myself taking, and recognizing that if I am feeling good and healthy on the inside, it makes it a lot easier to feel good on the outside. So that was one of the things.
And then the other thing is that, over a decade, my mom was diagnosed with dementia.
Oh, I saw that. She recently passed.
Passed away.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say that in our quest to make sure that we can take care of her, we're thinking about, okay, so even our own health, our own mental health, and what that really means for us also. And mushrooms came about, and how incredible the ways of mushrooms that can build neural pathways in the brain, that they can't say, I don't think that it is, that it can prevent dementia or Alzheimer's, but I know that there are cases that it has really made a huge difference.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
How are you guys living iconically right now?
Oh,
at this stage?
Well, we have a lovely home with a 14,000 square foot backyard and a huge pool that's so gorgeous.
I've been seeing like on Instagram, your guys' house is like decorated so nice.
Thank you.
Gorge.
Thank you very much. Yeah.
And so that makes me just anytime I'm floating in my pool, and it's kind of like my ritual to like get dinner ready and then get in the pool with a glass of wine and just float around. And that always makes me feel super iconic.
Mm-hmm.
We started doing trade shows again because of this new brand. And it's fun to go and be reminded that our hairdressing community really loves us. And that's really nice. That makes me feel kind of iconic. What about you? You're way more iconic than me.
Am I?
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
I'm adjacent.
Well, it's worked for both of us.
Sweet husband.
It works for both of us. I always tell, this is my Michelle Obama.
You need to give my husband a lesson or two.
I know things to say.
I just feel iconic being able to wake up every single day. Like, I think that being the age that I am, with really no body issues really except for my sinuses, but yeah, I think having health is wealth, and that is the thing for me that is iconic.
That is a good point. That it changes, right? When you're 20s and 30s,
sure,
you're not thinking in that way.
Not
now
at
in
all.
50s, it's like grateful to literally wake up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Get out of bed and not feel like that I can't walk.
Right.
Or, not feel like that I can't drink a glass of water. Whatever it is.
Yes.
That as we age, there's things that happen that we really have no control over. So I think that's iconic, to be able to have that health as wealth.
Mm-hmm. I just thought of something back to when you guys were talking about tools, and I forgot to ask you guys this. What is the best brush that we should get? The best hairbrush?
Well,
because I think there's so many out there, you never know what to get.
Yes.
Okay, tell.
Okay, so
I have 3.
You have 3? 3 brushes?
3, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go first?
Sure. Mason Pearson.
Oh, you stole mine. I knew you were.
Great. You let me. I gave you the opportunity, and then you gave it back. So,
you don't know which one.
I don't know the name of it.
See?
But it's a great mix of nylon and boar bristles.
Here we go.
And then if that's a flat brush.
Okay.
I love the YS Park round brushes. Again, boar bristle and nylon bristle combination. They're not cheap. Mason Pearsons are around $100, and these round brushes are probably $60 to $85, depending on the size of the barrel. And the third, I love a Denman, a 9-row Denman.
Okay. These brushes should last forever.
They'll last
You're
forever.
investing in it, but you'll have this brush for 10, 20 years even sometimes. Huh?
Good for your hair. Throw away those metal brushes.
I hate a metal brush.
Okay,
They're
metal
the
brushes
worst.
are no-go.
They're the worst.
Okay.
Especially if you want to maintain the cuticle and you want to maintain your hair, don't use a metal brush because a metal brush is heating up so hot.
It's getting hot, as hot as your blow dryer.
As hot as your blow dryer, which is going to really destroy your hair.
Maybe they're okay, like if your hair's already dry,
right,
and you're using it to set a curl pattern or something. But
And as Jason was talking about Mason Pearson, my favorite brush of all time. The reason why is because it is dual bristled. It has the nylon, which is, I say, for detangling, and then the boar for smoothing. It's an investment, but let me just tell you something. For your scalp, that old tale about brushing your hair 100 times before you go to bed is truthful.
Oh.
You should brush your hair and your scalp 100 times before you go
stimulation.
to bed. That stimulation of your scalp.
Okay.
That taking those natural oils that are in your scalp through your hair.
Okay.
There's nothing better for it. And then also it's going to really relax you and soothe you.
It's another ritual.
It's another ritual.
That's a good
bedtime
point.
ritual.
It's another ritual.
Should we be washing our hair every day?
No.
No, right?
Not
Oil
at all.
training? Is that a thing? Like, apparently you train your hair to not wash it. Like, you try to go as long as possible. And I think it's called oil training because it gets really dirty.
And it's for the scalp. It's not for the hair. So oil training is really about the scalp. It's not
Okay.
about the hair.
Oh, okay. So it's
Which
more
is really
for the
important
skin.
to know. And the scalp is skin.
Mm-hmm.
So when you're thinking about addressing what your hair is going through, internal is going to be number 1.
Okay.
External is going to be number 2.
Okay.
So whatever you put in your body is going to show up on the outside of your body.
That's a good point because I know as we get older, hair can start drying out and
Absolutely.
you're dealing with all these things.
Absolutely.
So should women be taking like certain supplements or using certain products for their hair? at
Yes.
this
I mean,
stage?
that's part of the reason why also, with my mom having dementia, yes, but also part of the reason why we decided to launch an ingestible first, a supplement first in this new line is because we've heard forever, as long as we've been hairdressers, combined experience over 60 years, whatever you put on your
I seem
body.
to do that all of the time.
I do.
You just aged, you guys.
I should just say me because, you look like you're still 35.
Thank you.
Just a babe in the woods.
I know the right things to say. I'm not going to say what I wanted to say. That, we heard for years and years and years about whatever you put in your body shows up on the outside of your body. And I think that us as beauty professionals, we don't necessarily always think about that because we're thinking about just what surface beauty, if you will. But that's the reason why we decided to launch an ingestible first. And the reason why we decided to use mushrooms is because mushrooms are the new era in beauty. For thousands of centuries, they've been using them in Asian cultures, putting them in teas, putting them in food, all of that, and supplements. But here in the West, we haven't adopted it as much. And
We were kind of brought up, don't touch it in the woods because you might die.
yeah,
Right. Like stay away from
Stay
mushrooms,
away from
especially wild mushrooms.
Yeah.
yes, and
And people say
psilocybin.
that they don't like mushrooms, but really, most of the mushrooms we get in the grocery store now are the same mushroom at different stages of their growth cycle.
Yes, that's it.
So when you say I don't like mushrooms,
interesting.
you've really only had one.
Yeah. You've only had
You know.
one kind of mushroom.
I just discovered one. Sorry, I interrupted you.
It's okay. I'm used to it.
You. I said that to him yesterday or 2 days ago. I'm like, I'm used to you interrupting me. So he just got me back. It's called Candy Cap.
Ooh.
And when it's dried,
Uh-huh.
it has a maple syrup flavor.
Ooh. Okay.
And I can't wait to get some to make a simple syrup for cocktails.
Oh, that's a good point, huh?
Or to
Little mix it up.
make a syrup for putting in desserts. There's so many things. We're just at the tip of the iceberg of really
And we're writing a
understanding.
beauty book.
And we're writing a book.
Oh,
Yes, we're
really?
writing a
Oh,
book.
so,
Yes.
so when is that coming out?
Probably 2027.
Yeah.
Oh, no, excuse me. It's 2026. Probably fall of 2026.
That
That's the
incorporates the mushrooms and everything?
And we're going to do like
Oh.
35 to 50 different recipes
Okay.
to do different things. Like make people think differently about the whole fungi kingdom.
Right.
A lot
And
with
beauty, wellness, and science. So that's
Okay.
our brand, Ted Gibson Beauty, Wellness, and Science. So we're combining all three of those things into a book based on the idea of mushrooms.
Oh, wow. So that's coming in fall 2026.
Yes.
Tell people where they can find you and find the company.
You can find us on all social platforms. Ted is at Ted Gibson. I am at Jason Backe, B-A-C-K-E.
Love it. Little branding.
Yeah, little branding. And you can find Ascension at tedgibson.com.
Okay. And before you guys leave, we like to play a little game on the Iconic Midlife.
Okay.
So here's our rapid fire,
Uh-oh.
boys.
Fire.
Ready?
I gotta
Yes.
get ready.
It's called snip or sip.
Okay.
So snip, cut it, done, you're over it. Sip, we're into it, keep it coming.
Okay,
Okay.
I love it.
Oh,
Is the snip because we're hairdressers, or is that every time?
No, that's just for
I
you
love
guys.
it. I love
Tailored just for
I
you
love it.
two.
Okay.
Okay, glass hair. Assuming like glass skin, like that's kind of the trend where it's like
Sure.
that kind of very dewy, shiny look.
Oh, yes.
So what do you think? Glass hair.
I would say
Sip when appropriate.
sip when it doesn't look greasy.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's big. That's
Because
big.
I don't know that the consumer,
Mhm.
right? I don't know if she's going to be able to create that same look without it looking greasy.
Right. That's the trick. You can
That's the trick.
right? Because to try to recreate it at home, that's
Yes.
really hard
Ends
sometimes.
up being greasy, and then you're going to
Yes.
be pissed off, and you're like, oh my God.
Yes. Like, what did I do?
And that's kind of like stuff you see in magazines across the board. It's created to last for the moment the picture's being taken.
Absolutely.
Right.
Not to go to work 8 hours in the office.
Yes,
You
that's
know?
true. Because it's a different, you're doing two different looks.
But I
Yeah.
do say that a woman should know what the trend is, but not be a slave to it. So she can adopt this glass hair into something that works for her,
Mm-hmm.
right? She doesn't have to do exactly the same way.
Right.
She can create it how it works for her and say that I'm on trend, and she's on trend,
She's on trend. She can make it her own.
and make it her
Yes.
own.
We're not making this rapid fire.
Oh no, sorry.
I know we love all the explanation too. It's
Okay,
good. Number 2, overlined lips.
Snip it.
Sip it.
You like one likes it, one doesn't. Okay.
Okay, so the reason why is because I
It has to be
just
done so well.
just worked with this young actress who has 7 movies coming out within the next year. She's the new face of the Hunger Games, and this is a little backstage goss.
Yes, tell.
But she wanted her lip to be just a slightly bit overline.
Oh.
So if a 19-year-old girl is thinking about that as a trend, I know that it's back on track.
That's true. Those Gen Z, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in the know with that kind of
They're
stuff,
in the know with
right?
that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
And also, like, you got to be careful as we reach a certain age that a heavy lip
Yeah.
might not be so friendly to any kind of creasing that we have around our lip area, or
Well, tell that to Deborah Messing, because Deborah Messing always loves her lip to be a little enlarged, and she still
she looks
to this day,
amazing.
She looks
yeah,
amazing.
she's gorge.
She
looks
does.
amazing.
She's
But
gotta
she
be-
doesn't smoke.
Oh.
So if you smoke, you may have that
A
thing.
little bit more crepey.
A
Yeah.
little creepy. Yeah, the
Yeah.
skin and everything.
Mhm.
Good point. Botox in your 20s. Snip it or sip it?
Snip it.
Snip it.
Sip it.
I love it. You're like one here and one
if I
there.
had Botox in my 20s,
Yeah.
and I felt like, can we say filler
Yeah, could
and
say
not
filler.
Botox?
Sure.
So if it's filler, I might be into it in my 20s.
Okay. For the volume.
For the
and-
volume.
Yeah.
I mean, I've been a big fan of Botox and a little filler since I was probably 35.
Okay.
And I think that it's made everything look better now that I'm not 35.
Mm.
I think that there was some preventative stuff because of having the muscles not move as much.
Oh,
So maybe there's a little bit of sip,
Mhm.
but I think,
Listen, let me just tell you something about her. Her,
This girl over here.
this girl to my right, would have had Botox if it was accessible and she could have done it.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Right?
It's true.
You
Yeah.
don't want it to get any worse than it doesn't have to be. You know?
And we're
Yeah.
so
It's true.
influenced by, influenced by the Hailey Biebers and the, what's her name? Lori Harvey.
Right.
You know what I mean? We're so influenced by these girls, and these girls are 25 years old.
Gosh.
And they are tweaking their faces.
They're-
I mean, can we just talk about Lindsay Lohan's face for a
Oh
moment?
my God. You know what though? She looks great.
That's
looks
what I'm saying.
incredible.
Right?
And what a bounce back.
What a bounce back, right? She looks amazing. Anne Hathaway.
And ooh,
Ridiculous.
I'm like,
Yes.
"Ooh, yes, girl.
So
yes.
gorgeous.
Listen,
Give me more
do
of
it.
that.
do it.
I mean,
it's
she
so
looks
different
amazing.
than it used to be. You remember? I don't know if you remember when Jessica Lange had her. Back in the
Yes.
80s or whatever, 90s, when Jessica Lange had her facelift and everyone was like horrified. Oh
Right.
my God, who is this one? Even Renee Zellweger, when they had their work done, that it was so jarring.
Right.
I was not jarred by
No.
Annie Hathaway. I was
No.
not jarred by Kris Jenner, jarred when she had just, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like we're not,
It's just come a long way.
it's just come a long way.
I love this. It's like work that looks like you've not had anything done. Just like a
Sheesh.
refresh.
A refresh.
Looks amazing. Kris Jenner is another one that looks wow.
Unbelievable.
She looks the youngest out of all of them now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, right? Looks great though.
Yeah.
I'm like, I want what she's having.
Absolutely.
And we look amazing even if we don't do it.
Yes. Right. It's true. It's
Whatever.
your choice.
Bitch,
you're
get
like,
that Botox. Bitch, get that filler. That facelift.
Oh
Do you
my
know how many you're looking at all these women in Hollywood, right? You're looking at all these women that are influential. And if you think that they have it on their second and their third facelift, by the time they're 60 years old, you have another thing coming.
And the
Yeah,
dudes
so-
too.
And the
And
dudes
the men
too.
too.
If you think of
Brad Pitt.
45-year-old
Brad Pitt.
What?
Yep.
Or any of them
Yeah.
over 45 that are being superheroes. Like
Right.
there's some HGH happening there.
Absolutely.
There's
Yes.
you
Bradley
know.
Cooper looks different too, doesn't he?
I
There's
haven't seen him
something.
lately, really.
He does
He
look
looks a
different.
little different. I'm not sure what he's done, but it kind of looks like something maybe. Maybe he's been done. Okay. Last one. Sip it or snip it. Couples who work together.
Sip it. Chug it.
Chug it. Sometimes you need to chug it when you work together.
Yes.
I think that if you can, I'll just speak from our experience. If we have different roles, and that's the most important thing. You have a different role in any relationship that you're in. And we have different roles, and that's the reason why it's been able to work.
You guys kind of balance each other out, it
Yes.
seems like, right?
Yep.
What?
Like Ted's always wanted to be famous. And I just want the famous people to know who I am and come to my parties.
Right. It totally works, right?
I think we
It's a
fulfilled that,
perfect
right?
balance.
Yeah.
Another reason why you guys are great together.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, well, thank you
you.
for coming on the
This was
Iconic
so
Midlife.
fun.
I'm so excited.
This was worth getting up early and driving in from Palm
yay!
Springs.
I love to hear that.
Yes.
Ted and Jason, come on. I told you this would be good. From iconic red carpet stories to starting over with purpose, these two prove that midlife isn't the end of anything. It's the beginning of doing things your own damn way. Their new mushroom-based wellness line is part of the next chapter, and I can't wait to see where they take it. Be sure to follow them at Ted Gibson and at Jason Backe to stay plugged in. If this episode inspired you, made you laugh, or reminded you to own your magic, send it to a friend, leave us a review, and tag us so we can repost you. Every single share helps the Iconic Midlife reach more women who deserve to feel powerful in this season. Follow the show, tell a friend, and remember, we're not doing midlife quietly. We're doing it on our own terms.